I was young.
Post Malone in the studio today.
Hello. Well, looks like we're rolling.
I think we're good to go.
What's up, everybody? This is Cause Defect, the show for serious conversations with not so serious people.
Yep.
Today, we have a very much not so serious conversation, if you want to call it even a conversation.
Yeah, pretty much the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, but we had a request from a day one fan. Just kidding. It's my cousin.
I was gonna say one of Brennen's many family members. Just like him, yes. I'm sure is the product of incest.
Yes, probably so. We're all related. Anyway, so today, instead of talking about an actual topic like we usually do, we're just gonna do some like Q&A and some games and stuff that we've made up ourselves, and just kind of have more fun, more relaxed conversations.
Yeah. So we're gonna call this episode "What the FAQ."
What the FAQ?
What the FAQ? And we're going to start with a game called Spill It.
Just a great name.
Oh, yeah.
This will be a quick game.
Yeah.
Spill It will be a quick game.
So Spill It is, we've played this game once before. What we do is we just say a word or a phrase, and the first thing that comes to mind for the other person is what they just blurted out. And our whole middle section is going to be us asking back-to-back funny or serious questions. So we're kind of switching on and off. So we'll have good discussions in there. We're gonna allow ourselves to ramble a little bit this episode, and then we will end with a segment of Did You Know?
Yeah. And my hair's getting long again, hence the hat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that what you call long?
Yeah. Well, if it's like all in my ears and it looks ridiculous, it gets poofy. I gotta put a hat on.
You fucking Metro.
That's the way you'll know if you watch our episodes. It's like short hair, no hat, then it starts getting long, and I just wear a hat every episode. I don't feel like dealing with it. It's too much to deal with. So, anyways, let's move it along.
Let's have our episode 22.
Actually, let me stop us real quick. Just pardon the interruption. For those that do like watching Cause and Defect, please subscribe, like, comment, do all the things you want. I think this was something really cool because we actually had someone that, listened to our stuff, kind of interact and say, hey, I really like when you guys do that. So here we are doing that thing. And I think it's going to be fun for us as well.
Because we are hilarious.
We are hilarious. And I wanted you guys to have more of the opportunity to see how hilarious we are rather than,
an entire episode. Normally it's like two funny segments at the beginning and end and a whole segment where we're talking seriously about things we don't fully understand.
Exactly. So if you want to see things that are more related to you, then just let us know. If we don't want to do it, we'll just tell you no or ignore you. So, but most of the time, like this was just spouted on us a couple days ago and we're already doing it. So, so that's the way to interact with us. Tell all your friends because we are hilarious, and so you should listen.
That's right.
Anyhow, let's move it along.
All right. Hit me. Let's go.
I'm gonna say my first five and you respond accordingly.
Rapid fire.
Here we go. 5 random things, and I need your quickest response with no time to think.
I'm going to try my best to not hold on to an answer. Like sometimes I feel like when I'm going into this, I'll have something I'm already ready to say. I need to blank my mind out.
Yeah, you got to blank it out. Just think of it, and you have 2 seconds to answer each one.
Okay.
Number 1, here we go. Ready, go. Tomato slices.
Pizza.
Barn doors.
Amish people.
Mongolia.
Genghis Khan.
Missing Tupperware lids.
Me.
Pigeon droppings.
Pigeonhole.
Pigeonhole. Tupperware. I saw some meme today, and it was like, for all those socks you lose in the dryer, they come back out as Tupperware lids that don't fit any of the other Tupperware.
That's great.
Like, that's so true.
Was that all? Was that 5?
That was 5, yeah.
Wow.
That was a quick 5. It was a quick 5. This is a good warm-up game for our questions.
Get our brains up.
Get that quick thinking going, you know? Hit me.
All right. Wait, let's say, as a rule, I fucked up. Let's say as a rule from now on, you can't include in your answer one of the words.
Okay, it has to be completely separate.
So I fucked up one of those that one
Pigeonholes.
time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So the rest you did well.
Ready for this?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Alligators.
Scales.
Cream cheese.
Gross.
Zodiac signs.
Doesn't matter.
Paper clips.
Boiny.
Mickey Mouse.
Probably gay.
Very good. Very nice.
That was good. That was fun. I could do this all day. All right. Here we go. Second set of 5. This is your last chance. Ready, go. Sandwich bags.
Marsupials.
Merry-go-rounds.
Sorry.
That was a good one.
Pepperoni.
Terminal cancer.
Turtles.
Canadian rickshaws.
Bacon.
Sure, goat milk.
Cheese.
There you go. That was good.
I'm not good at this
Yeah,
game.
the marsupials got me good.
You said bags, and I just thought of saddlebags. Marsupials. My brain
I
takes like
wouldn't have
2
went
to
there.
3 jumps, and I just don't know where to jump off the
Yeah,
ride.
where to just say the thing.
Yeah.
All right. Hit me. That was good.
Ready for this?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Jiminy Cricket.
Racy.
Runny shits.
Yesterday.
Zimbabwe.
Black people.
Balloon tits.
My ex.
Yes, I'm setting you up for that. Thank God. Brad Pitt.
Hair. Yeah, I don't know another good
Dude,
one.
I knew you were going to say my ex. Oh, that was amazing. Wow.
Balloon tits.
I got your
man.
ass.
When I rub my head on them, my hair gets really frizzy. That's what I mean by balloon tits. Oh, it's too hot in here for the hat.
All right.
All right. Well, that was good. You know, I feel like I got my tongue twisters out, all that kind of good stuff.
I think that's my worst game. I'm not very good at that.
I think it's hilarious either way.
It's funny.
It's just fun to do, to hear what comes out.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be funny. It's just going to be like Brad Pitt. It's either abs or hair or,
Yeah,
you know.
I thought you were going to say, like, sexy or some shit, and I would have been like, ha, what a fag. All right, I'll ask my first serious question. So like I said before, we're both going to ask each other a serious question, then both a funny question, serious, funny. So we'll keep things interesting here. Would you rather be a smart baby or a dumb adult? So a smart person that can't do anything for yourself, or a dumb person that can do everything for yourself?
That's a good question. Honestly, I'd rather just be a dumb adult.
Would you?
Yeah. I could imagine how frustrating that would be as a baby. And it just wouldn't be worth it.
Like in a little prison, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can't... Even if you could tell the people what you wanted, they're probably too dumb to really understand it. So it sounds like a hellhole to be in. At least if I'm dumb, I'm just oblivious and I'm just having the time of my life.
Sure.
You know, like smoking cigarette, drinking Coca-Cola all the time. You know, yelling
Killing
racist
yourself.
stuff.
Yeah, that sounds
all,
fun.
All the fun stuff.
Hell yeah.
All right. First serious question.
Let's go.
Did you ever, when you were young, run away from home?
No. Not seriously. I snuck out, but that doesn't count. I
no.
wasn't thinking. I didn't like grab a bag
Oh,
and get my
man.
toothpaste and stuff. And
I remember, like, as a kid, like, as a real young kid,
So
like
you-
7 years old, like, I'm fucking out of here.
you like
you
grabbed
know?
a couple action figures and
Yeah, exactly.
dipped the fuck out.
Yeah, you, like, put some of your favorite toys in a bag, and then I just, like, walk up the driveway and be like, maybe not today. I'll do it some other time.
Some creepy adult at McDonald's will give me a free Happy Meal.
I'll run away some other day.
All right.
good.
First funny question. Would you slapbox a gorilla to avoid going to jail for 10 years?
Ooh, is this fatal?
I don't know.
I don't feel
I've
like,
never slapboxed a
I
gorilla.
don't feel like I feel like one slap and I'm done, and I feel like he's faster than me too.
Let's say there's a ref in there.
someone that can break us up.
It's pretty much like you're fighting Mike Tyson.
Okay, yeah, I'd get my ass whooped to not go to jail for 10 years for sure.
Potentially go to the hospital with some serious injuries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
How about you? Oh, jail just sounds awful. You can't do anything.
I would run jail. I'd have people hold my pocket.
That's true.
Hold my pocket.
You'd have your little bitch walking around
Hell
with you.
yeah.
Go give me some food.
That's right.
That's hilarious. That's
Suck
good.
my dick.
Jillian.
You gonna suck my dick for breakfast?
Show me your breast. All right. All right. My first funny one. Have you ever barebacked a horse?
I have not.
I just really wanted
You
to say
had horse
bareback.
sex in mind. You fucking freak.
No, it just doesn't seem fun to feel like Fabio out on
Oh,
a, your hair's down.
Just hurt your ass. That would be
Its
terrible.
spine is going right in your devil's driveway.
No,
you know what I
thanks.
mean? Nobody's gonna want that.
I'm good, dude.
Yeah,
Break
I
your
will.
goddamn tailbone.
I actually don't want to ride a horse at all.
I mean,
funny
imagine,
enough, much
imagine
less
how
with nothing.
Gandalf and Mary felt when they were riding that
Like,
horse
across the fucking Middle
for
Earth
3 straight days.
I heard something. I think this was on Grand Tour. It talked about how Genghis Khan would have mail delivered across his whole empire within like 3 days or something. They'd ride like 200 miles a day on a horse and then just get on to the next one and just keep going.
Yeah, they would go until the horse pretty much couldn't take it anymore, and they kind of had that measured out, and they would just jump on another horse and go. That's amazing. That's very sophisticated for back in the day. Pretty cool.
Man, I could not imagine riding that horse for 3 days. You know, you wouldn't be able to feel your legs. Your ass would just be non-existent. Yeah. I'd probably castrate myself just so I didn't have to worry about that anymore.
I could never castrate. Like,
I feel like
I don't even want to imagine.
You don't.
I don't want to be a eunuch, dude. What the hell? All right, here we go. Second serious question.
All right.
Would you say that you have fashion sense? If so, describe how you view it.
No, I wouldn't say that. No. And I feel like anybody that's watching any of our stuff would absolutely agree. Here's the thing, though.
But from me to you, I think you have more fashion sense than me.
It's not that I have more fashion sense. I just care more about it.
That's fair.
It doesn't mean I'm better at it.
Yeah, okay.
So, but it's weird because I can look at someone and I can be like, that's a nice outfit. Like, I like that. That looks clean as fuck. But if I went into a store where it's all separated, I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on.
No, I'm gonna buy some boxers and leave.
Yeah, it's like doing calculus. I'm just like, this doesn't make sense to me. I'm not doing it. So I always have to take someone to just put some stuff together, and I never think it looks good when I buy it. I go, this is weird. It's not me. I'm wearing a fucking V-neck. Like I would never, you know. So, but then I get it home and wear it a couple times. I'm like, okay, you know, it looks all right. It's all right.
I see you in straight corduroy.
Yeah,
just up and down.
A full corduroy suit.
That's right. Corduroy shoes, a corduroy fucking like one of those French hats. What do you call a bidet? No.
A bidet. Yes, that is a French hat.
Oh my god, no, it's not.
It's a beret.
A beret. A bidet is water that shoots up your ass. I was just making sure you knew.
That's great. Maybe if it was plaid, I could do some plaid.
I bet you could.
You know, plaid was the thing. Why was it in like 9th grade? Like plaid shorts was like the coolest thing you could wear.
Yeah, in like middle school. You're right. Because
Yeah.
I remember that's around the time where like, well, no, because it started early middle school for ours.
Maybe it was probably early.
Because I remember lots of white kids wearing plaid shorts while singing "Hey Ya" by Outkast.
Ah, interesting.
I don't know why I remember that.
I bet they were like, let's take the song down.
Yeah,
let's take it
Lugoff
back.
has ruined this.
Yeah, let's take it back. Okay, second serious question. This is a layup. What movie are you most excited to see in the coming year?
Dune.
Okay.
You knew that already.
I knew that, but
I'm going to describe to... Well, you said the coming year. So
I don't know when it comes out.
Or 2021.
Correct.
2021?
Sure.
Oh, then I don't fucking know what's coming out in 2021.
In the following year from today.
So 2021.
It would be in 20... When does that movie come out?
December.
Okay, that is in the following year starting from today. In the next year from today, what movie are you most excited to see? It's Dune. Just talk about your movie.
God, are you that stupid or am I that stupid?
I didn't say the next year as in 2021. Saying starting today, 365 days.
Dune.
Okay.
Absolutely. If you haven't, I mean, I've read the book for Dune. I have an idea of what's going to happen. And the movie trailer itself looked fucking amazing. So I'm just very much ready for that, and I would recommend anybody who likes to read specifically science fiction to go ahead and start reading it, because you have until December to read it. You can knock it out of the park. It is a fucking phenomenal book. It is a legendary book, honestly. A long time ago. In the 60s, probably.
Because they made a movie in the 70s, 80s?
80s, I'm pretty sure.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
The only reason I've always heard of the book because it's just a famous book, so I've heard of it, but I never got close experience until, well, I say close, but you were reading it and telling me about it and stuff all the time. So that's when my curiosity grew on that. But I did watch the trailer today and it looks pretty damn amazing.
Oh yeah, because Hans Zimmer's on the music. They've got a freaking grade A cast. You know?
They had the good director,
Jason Momoa, Josh Brolin.
Oh yeah,
they have a bunch of good actors up in there, man.
Who is the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy that's on there?
Oh yeah,
I don't know
Dave Bautista.
Oh yeah, nice.
Drax.
Yeah, Drax.
Yeah. So I'm excited, and he's playing. You saw the guy that he was playing. He looks like he's surprisingly a good actor. Well, I guess he does WWE, so they're all fucking actors.
Okay, yeah. So. He has experience in the industry.
That's right. All right, so I got a funny question for you.
Hit me.
How do you feel about Joe Biden?
Oh, wow. So I don't feel very much. I feel like he's somewhat delusional, and I don't have a very educated answer here. So I don't want anyone.
I was just looking for funny.
Yeah, but I don't want someone to be like, "Well, I heard it from this guy." Like I don't know anything.
If anybody does that with us, they're on the wrong podcast.
I'll just clearly say I do not know anything about his platform or policies or any of that, but. He seems like he will die soon, or like he can't even keep a coherent conversation together.
It's so sad. It's like that is like the one good thing that Donald Trump has put out in his ads is that Joe Biden is dumb.
The sleepy Biden shit and all that, or whatever.
Because I've seen that outside of Donald Trump's political ads, and I'm just like, God damn, like, I mean, it's it's just so sad to see. But he's also like kind of creepy, which is why I thought it was funny.
And two more points. Number one, he's been in the government for a long time, and I don't know anything significant that he's done. And number three, he decided to interview Cardi B for the whole world, and that to me was just a dumb fucking mistake.
Golly, man. I am on board with you on that.
Yeah,
man. I thought that was stupid.
I don't know where anyone's getting any sort of reasonable or intelligent information from her at all.
Yeah, because she knows exactly what she was talking about. Like
I remember
she was complaining about like in her tweets about how much the government was taking out in taxes.
Yeah.
And then she went and like endorsed Bernie Sanders, who's just going to raise taxes.
And then she wants like universal health care, free education.
Where do you think it's not free? Where do you think that comes from? It comes from your taxes.
Right. But don't give me more taxes.
Jesus Christ.
It is crazy. It's crazy that people like big businesses and I think people in that upper bracket are taxed like 50% or something crazy. That is
I really don't know.
Stupid amount. I think that's what it used to be. I don't know if it still is or not.
But if you were making that, well, personally for me, if I was making that much, I wouldn't give a shit how much they were taking out. I would be fine because I'm super low maintenance. Even if I was really rich, I would live very low means and just have that to do fun things on the side.
It would just suck. Like if you spent 20 to 30 years growing a company just to build it up bigger and bigger for the government to take more and more away.
I can see that.
I get
just
it.
on principle.
I get it, but it sucks. It's like a deterrent almost. Like, well, I say that, but who doesn't want to be rich? Yeah. So maybe it's not. All right. My next funny. How many whole cucumbers do you think you could fit into your mouth?
Probably. I have a big mouth.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, not all the way in. Let's see.
They'd be sticking out. It'd be like that hot dog meme that would be like, I'm just friends with a lot of guys. This is a bunch of hot dog
Let's take a picture of me with cucumbers in my mouth. And we can do it in the grocery store so we can just put the cucumbers back on the shelf.
So we'll have a follow-up video for this podcast.
No, we'll have that as the thumbnail. Don't worry about it.
You sitting there with a bunch of whole cucumbers.
Depending on the size, like if they were organic cucumbers, maybe a little smaller, I could probably get 3 in there. Now, if we're talking gherkins, I could slam some of those babies down. Give me like 6 gherkins up in here. I could do that.
I can imagine they're all just like balled up, and you're just shoving more in the middle of them. Oh man, that's disturbing.
Oh, that's great.
That's great.
Perfect. It's good to have a big mouth.
Yeah. I really don't know if that's true or not.
All right. This is a serious question, so let's bring it down.
All right.
This is a good one. I like this one. Do you think that violence is necessary ever?
That's a really tough question. I think a younger me would say absolutely. Because sometimes it's like no matter the word you want to say to someone, they just won't understand. So it feels like if you like
just beat the shit.
Just knock some sense into them, as people say. You know, it seems like that's just like the bare bones way, but man, I don't know. Unless it's like preparing you for something like violence, like the military. You know, like they have to get used to violence and people yelling and loud noises and stuff like that.
If the military wasn't there committing violence, then they wouldn't have to prepare their people with violence.
Maybe in a utopia, but not realistically speaking.
Right.
It would be nice if we could solve things through conversation. That would be my ultimate goal. But there will always be violence. So I don't really know how to answer your question one way or the other.
Gotcha. Because I could go back and forth with you on this. Like, you say violence is necessary because there will always be violence. But then I could respond with, well, there doesn't always have to be. It doesn't need to be necessary.
It does.
If everybody was educated, spoke like universal language or whatever. Sure. This is a utopia.
Okay.
Obviously. Because I'm probably on your side. I just don't know where that would end. And I don't. That is a tough question. Even, yeah. I'm the asker, and I don't have a real answer.
Right, because, I mean, that leads into that utopian idea of if you don't have that, then how do you know it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
And I'm just talking about on the human side of things, because there will, I mean, the further down in consciousness you go, the more prevalent generally violence is. Mm-hmm. I mean, even... I'm not going very far down the consciousness chain here, but like dolphins tend to be like violent. They like rape their own kind and stuff. Chimpanzees like hunt down monkeys in the trees and will kill them and like rip them apart. All sorts of crazy shit. And
monkeys are brutal, man.
Yeah,
I would love for it to not ever to have to be a thing. But realistically, that's just never, not, especially not with, I mean, we are animals. I mean, it is just always going to happen. It's just, it's the bigger part of our brain, you know, I feel like to be aggressive and hoard over your own. What's that? Territorial type stuff.
Right. So this is where I would start to bring in where do you draw the line? Is imperialism okay? Because we're like, in order to avoid conflict that is on our home turf, they're pushing out the borders and creating this gigantic thing where we don't have any conflict in our home and we don't really see it at all. So is that violence in essence creating a peace at home? And if so, like, I've always been anti-imperialist kind of all that sort of rhetoric. And this is a conversation we could spend a really long time on, which I would like to have an episode on this.
It's even that, even if you had this imperialism and this perfect nation type thing, I mean, at some point that's going to crumble. It's going to either be infiltrated or something on the inside is going to go awry.
Crumble, that's a thing.
Yeah, so I think it's always going to be there no matter what.
Okay.
So that's my answer.
Okay.
Serious question coming at you.
Okay.
Do you find procreation responsible? Not necessary, but responsible.
No.
So no one...
Not at this point.
No one should have children?
Nah, that's not what I said.
Okay.
I just don't think... Because maybe it's just the way that you worded the question. But if procreation was responsible, then me having the disposition that I have, I would be considered irresponsible because I don't want children. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think that's the case. I think it's more, in my case, the reasons that I have for it, for me, I think it's more responsible. Yeah. And that's just for me. Maybe for some people, they see it as their responsibility to populate the earth. Yeah. And for me, I would say that that's far from necessary.
I don't think people would think about it on a grand scale like that. I think it would be more or less like, really the only way I can justify it, I guess, is to say, like, if you had a farm or something out in the middle of wherever, you may need children to help you run that farm.
Back in the day.
Yeah, you may, once you get old, you're going to need people there to take care of you. And so that could be responsible procreation. Yeah. Yeah. But I get what you're saying, because I would be the same way. I don't think it's necessary, therefore not responsible. Yeah. Or necessarily responsible.
And I do also think that on a certain front, it is selfish. It depends on your motive, but I think it's potentially I think it's potentially selfish, because a lot of the reasons that I hear that people want to procreate is that they want to pass their genes on. They want to see a little them running around.
Yeah, you don't have good genes to pass on.
And I just I don't have that. I don't really care very much about that. Yeah, I would say it would be more responsible to adopt.
In a way that, you could look at that too for yourself, is that you don't necessarily need like a child to have a legacy. You can create yours through productivity.
Yeah, and that's what I'm really pushing to do. That's what I care the most about.
It'd be nice if people thought more or less that way too, rather than just having bastard children that seem to be everywhere. I mean, seriously, I heard the stats today that like children without one parent or the other it was a black and white thing. I didn't want to make it a black and white thing. It's not really what it's about. But in like black communities, 70% of children don't have one parent or the other.
Wow.
And amongst white people, like 40% don't have one parent or the other. And to me, that just obviously people are having children for the wrong reasons, right? So, and it's
most of the time by accident.
Yeah, and it's definitely affected our culture and civilization, I would say. But that's a whole nother conversation as well.
Yeah, and I would like to, maybe we can make our next episode, I would like to have the next episode potentially on imperialism and its benefits and drawbacks. I think that would be a good one, because even asking that question and trying to answer my own question, it kind of maybe turned my wheels a little bit.
I'd like to hear some more opinions on it.
Yeah. So let's maybe plan to do that. We'll see. Maybe other topics will arise as we go along, but let's have a funny question.
All right.
We're taking a hard left here. A real hard left. So be ready, audience.
Play my penis.
Have you ever eaten ass?
Have I? Can I veto, huh?
I told you I might make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, that is uncomfortable. But I think just showing that I'm uncomfortable already answers the question. You know, we've all done things we're not proud of, okay? It's not something I care to do in the future or even think about on a daily basis or even a monthly basis at all.
Just bury your face into the mud pit.
It's happened.
Thank you.
All right, next question.
Thank you for that.
Damn it. All right. Would you rather eat a rotten apple? The whole thing is just rotten, infested. Or staple your nose shut for a day?
Rotten apple.
Oh, man, I don't
rotten
know.
Apple.
I don't know about
no
that.
doubt.
A rotten apple. You would be very sick.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would staple my nose shut. People do that anyway. People get piercings all the time. It's a lot.
Not shut.
It's like cartilage, you know. Just get like a little, instead of doing the whatever septum ring, just do it over the whole thing and just pierce it shut.
That sounds
I would take that for
painful.
a day over eating a rotten apple.
I would not. Nope.
It would all. I feel because
the
I feel
rotten
like
apple would be over with pretty quickly.
Well,
maybe you'd shit your guts out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe for the next 24 hours though, you're still gonna be in pain for having that in your stomach, unless you just throw it. Just can't get over that question, man. All right.
I nailed you, dude.
You got me good. You really put me on the spot.
You're welcome.
Yes, think differently of me, people. I think differently of myself.
All right. Serious question.
Yes.
Do you think that psychedelics can help expand your mind or consciousness?
Yes. I do, personally. I mean, it's all just subject to my experience, so I mean, it's hard to lay it out against anything else, you know, especially when I'm thinking personally, because I only did one way or the other. So, but to me, I noticed it a lot when I first started dabbling. That you just, I don't know, to me, you take on new perspectives. You think about things a little different way. I even notice, like, now if I just, like, smoke weed, I think of things differently, like, different answers to questions than I maybe would have if I were sober. So I just like the way that it can take you down different trails that you maybe never really thought of before.
I mean, if you think think of it physically, I'm sure chemicals like that can potentially alter the neural pathways in your brain.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume it would have to with more of that certain chemical over another.
Yeah.
It's an imbalance, which is going to lead you to different synaptic processes, if you will. And
I will.
It's gonna make you think differently. So, yeah, I would have to say so. Okay. And I'd be very willing to try DMT at some point.
I would consider that.
Dimethyltryptamine.
I've also, under a very controlled environment, I would like to drink ayahuasca tea.
Yeah, so the only thing that I've heard with that is, like, the way, you know, they have to, like, it's tree root, like, ground up. Right. And it's two separate trees, apparently. One, like, opens the gut, and the other one's the DMT that goes in. Okay. So whatever process that makes you really sick. Yeah. And you throw up a lot and vomit and feel like shit, and you know, probably shit your pants and stuff like that. But with DMT, it's just
a real experience.
Yeah, it's just the direct thing. You know, It lasts for, like, 10 to 15 minutes. It's like a crazy ass
ayahuasca
experience.
Is probably much more intense.
I think so, and I think it's a lot longer lasting. I couldn't tell you which one's more.
It's like some shit you pass out on, and you're just like out for a long time, and you wake up. It's like you're waking up out of anesthesia and you don't know what's going on, kind of thing, probably.
Yeah, and I've seen them where like I've seen people do it on like documentaries and stuff where they're like kind of roaming around a room talking to themselves for hours, like crying and screaming, like just getting all that shit out of their past and stuff like that.
Shit, hearing that, crazy. I don't know. But I've heard some crazy stories. But that's just
about like they're that person's like young child died recently, so there was like a traumatic experience that led to that. It wasn't just that was the reason she was crying.
Gotcha.
But
okay.
We're on a funny serious.
Right?
Wow, I'm right up your alley with this. Do you think all drugs should be legal? Why or why not?
I think that all drugs should be decriminalized. I think that's a good idea, personally. Because
so that means you can't manufacture it, but you can have it?
Yeah, and you're not allowed to sell it, but if you get caught with it, then you don't go to jail.
Go to jail for forever.
Yeah. So that's as far as my understanding goes. That's what it means. And my main thing that I cite for this is Portugal, and what it completely flips the way that the government pursues these drugs as well. Mm-hmm. So instead of using their money and effort and time to pursue prosecution, they would use their money, effort, and time to rehab those who wish to get off of these things.
Yeah.
Also, people do tend to go after things that are either illegal or
makes you feel rebellious.
Exactly.
Like if you could just pick the shit up at the gas station, no one's going to care.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the spice stuff. Like that's only cool for kids that can't buy weed, But if all the shit was out there, people would just smoke weed.
Probably.
Or those people anyways.
But in Portugal, there was a major turnaround with the amount of drug usage and that kind of stuff when they decriminalized it. So
I can see that. I mean,
it makes sense.
Think of how much of a waste the war on drugs was.
Yeah.
And how many billions of dollars
drugs won, obviously.
Yes, drugs definitely won, yes. People are just always going to want to do illegal shit. So, and to make it illegal makes it not only a crime that they're doing it, but it usually inflicts more crime with people trading or, because if you're selling drug and a drug deal goes bad, it's not like you can take them to court. They're just going to kill you, So making even stuff with like prostitution, like that should be legal too, because a lot of it would be much safer if it could be regulated and people could have a little bit of control over it.
Yeah, and it would be an interesting debate. I would like to have that debate with somebody who disagrees. And
I think most people... Nah, I can't say this for sure. I would think a lot of people would disagree just based on the fact that you use the words drug and legal in the same sentence. But like if you broke it down to explain like, we have all kinds of terrible ass drugs that you can go buy at the pharmacy that are just terrible for you now. I mean, you can go get caffeine as a drug. You can go get as much as that stuff as you want until you kill yourself. But somehow that's okay. Mm. But not the drugs that like marijuana that doesn't kill people.
That's a thing I like to use often is the comparison of caffeine and THC, and especially when it relates to coffee, because coffee is so societally accepted. Pot is starting to become really societally accepted, which is nice to see. Yeah. But people just don't embody the idea that coffee is a fucking drug. It is a very addictive drug. Well, the caffeine in the coffee is, but the coffee is the medium for it.
I can attest to that because I have a lot every day. Mm-hmm.
I've recently kind of jumped off of it, and you can there are withdrawal symptoms, man. Like it's a fucking drug.
Yeah, I believe it. With anything you abuse, man, or take in too much, there will be problems when you stop doing it. Your brain is just relying on it now. Mm-hmm. So
for sure.
Anyhow, hit me with a funny one.
Let's go.
Let's take a hard right on this one.
Would you eat only shit for 3 days or drink only your own pee for 3 days?
It's sterile and I like the taste. So if I'm drinking urine, can I eat other food?
Yes.
Urine.
Okay.
Yeah, easy one. Because I can just, it'd be sterile. The smell, I'd be hydrated, so it would just be basically drinking like water.
Let's raise the stakes. Let's say only shit for 3 days you eat, or only drink pee for a week.
I would still just drink the pee for a week.
Would you?
Yeah, because I'm always really hydrated, so it's not like disgusting brown urine. Oh, I can only drink that. So after a while, it'd be getting gross.
It would, yeah.
Yeah, after about 2 days, you're just...
Maybe you're, just for continuity's sake, you're allowed to have one bottle of water and you have to chug it, like slam it.
That's all right still, because I can drink the urine and then just eat something and I won't even taste it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, and I could... Yeah, you'd have to have some water in there somewhere, I feel like, so you don't die.
I would pretty much just fast for 3 days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. Damn, that sounds better. Whatever. I'm committing. I'm committing.
I'm drawing away from the question when I say
I'm
that.
committing. All right, this is not really a funny question, but I just want to hear your answer. I missed a question.
Are you fucking serious, dude? Just make up a question.
Well, I'm gonna go back to it because I really want to ask this, and I got plenty of other questions. What item can you distinctively remember one of your friends having that you didn't have and really wanted?
Wow, good question.
Yes.
Excuse me.
I don't know if this is blocking the camera or not. No.
There are, man, I'm trying to think way back into my nostalgia here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
I got 2 good ones.
I liked those the Tamagotchi things.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
And
people they did have a bunch of them. They'd be dazzled out with those things.
Oh yeah,
little keychains.
And I remember being when the Game Boy Advance first came out. I was very envious of my friends who had it.
I had an Advance, and those were awesome.
I also do remember. Yes, this is probably the one that sticks out of the 3 I mentioned. A bike that has pegs on it.
Oh yes, damn, that's a good one.
Those were so cool.
Yeah, they were. You could ride your friends around.
That's right.
That shit was awesome. You could do cool tricks if you knew how to do them. You know, that was a possibility. That's a good one. I thought Heelys.
Oh,
Heelys was a good one, and then a PSP.
Okay.
Yeah, the PSPs.
I remember seeing
awesome.
people playing Need for Speed on those things, and my mind was blown. That,
hell yeah.
I mean, that thing was just ahead of its time.
It really was.
Because it wasn't a big seller.
We weren't ready for those when they came out. Those were awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, your turn.
Good one. All right.
Yeah.
Serious question.
Okay.
Do you think that it's possible that reptilians are real?
I need you to define what you mean by reptilians.
I mean,
like half human type stuff.
Yeah. Let's say just an intelligent reptilian that could potentially shapeshift, maybe not, living among or within humanity or humankind. Couldn't spit that out.
I wouldn't think they were reptiles necessarily like that came from our Earth. I think if anything, maybe it's something foreign that could exist among us that we just, could hide in plain sight type of thing. But I don't know if I necessarily believe in the traditional reptilian theory.
I'm on the other end of that.
Yeah, I don't have one way or the, I mean, I don't know either way, obviously, and I don't have good facts to support either side. So
I just think that if they did exist, then they would have come from our planet. Because think about, we evolved to be what we are in 250,000 years, according to
roughly,
according to modern evolutionary theory. I don't want to say Darwinian theory because it's a little different.
Yeah.
But think about how long 65 million years is. Like if something intelligent enough to hide in a cave survived.
Which things did survive.
Yeah. Birds in particular.
Crocodiles.
Yeah. So they would have had not only a long time to evolve, but a long time to get really intelligent and be able to potentially navigate in and out of whatever species was going to rise to be the next thing.
Yeah, that would be my question, is what challenges would they face to expedite their intelligence or even push it in one way or the other? Like birds didn't become like these crazy species that walk and talk to each other as far as we know. Same with like alligators and crocodiles.
They do talk to each other.
Horseshoe crabs, like things that we know that have been around for millions of years. They haven't necessarily evolved that we can see to be more conscious or a higher consciousness than they are.
Right.
So what would make these reptiles be any different? Did this certain group of reptiles be any different?
Maybe they have some sort of opposable thumbs. Maybe they had to adapt very quickly at a certain point, specifically maybe when the meteor or the asteroid hit that wiped out the dinosaurs by theory. They had to adjust and go underground and adapt. And maybe they just don't see very well anymore or something, but they had to figure out how to use fire and do other things, maybe figure out how to make their way underground in different ways. And either it accelerated them very fast or they would have died off if they did live in caves.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see what would have helped them. And then if that were the case, it seems like we have the genetics or the physiology to be most useful on Earth. You would think that they would have grown to like the same sort of body type, body style.
Well, according to what people think reptilians are, they do have a similar body style. Maybe they are cold-blooded.
You would think they'd be a little different if they've lasted that long too. If they really are that smart, like they wouldn't have muscular toned bodies. You wouldn't think, and they wouldn't need it.
I don't know.
If you live for millions of years, I don't have to pick shit up anymore. I've found a way to do that, not using my body.
I mean, it depends, and that's a very human way of thinking. Maybe they had a different way of thinking.
That's what I'm saying. Why would they be any different than what we have become?
Because,
in our evolution?
I don't know how much you know about how the Earth was 65 million, millions of years ago, period. The Earth changes in chemistry, and it was like it was in a different relationship to the sun. The moon was on a different trajectory, all sorts of different things. The Earth was just chemically different. I think it was more acidic back then. Maybe more CO2 was in the air. It was potentially hotter. So I don't know.
I'd be curious. Yeah. Because that would create little differences, but nothing like still physiologically. I wouldn't think so. Like
little differences over a long period of time.
True, make a big difference.
So I'm not arguing for the existence of reptilians. I'm arguing for the possibility of their existence, because I don't believe beyond any shadow of a doubt by any means that reptilians do exist. I'm trying to think a little bit outside the box here and try to think of why they could potentially exist, rather than all the reasons why they don't. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing people are gonna say now is like, well, where are they? I don't see them. Like, if they were so big and grand, why don't they?
I already covered that, especially if they are shape shifting, which I mean.
But why let us roam the earth and take over and destroy?
Maybe there aren't many of them. Maybe they use us. Maybe we're like their sheep without knowing it. I don't know, man. I haven't come up with all these answers.
Yeah, that's the whole discussion to have.
Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting question. It
is.
I think there are a lot more reasons that they probably don't exist than are, but I think it would be funny and a good conversation to entertain that they may. Yeah,
I'd go with the foreigners. I think we'd see something there first.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What are we on? We're on something serious. All right. Is this my last question?
Yeah, we're running through these.
What is something you are most concerned about for future generations?
Climate change. And just future generations in the U.S., I feel like people aren't using their knowledge of history in the right way.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite, or maybe they just don't have a knowledge of history, but I think that it's quite possible that the fall of the United States happens and no one sees it coming. That's like a legitimate fear.
We are very reactive.
Yeah. And that's all of humanity in history, is that we're very reactive, and that's been the downfall.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it's possible that we're turning into this almost communist place, or just a place that was much different, not nearly as free as it once was.
Yeah, right.
And that comes with population climbs and all sorts of different. It's tough to say, but I just feel like the U.S. may fall before people realize it's falling.
I think not only that, if it's just a nation type thing, what I'm worried about is basically us becoming too smart to handle it anymore. Like, we created hydrogen bombs how long ago, and I can't even imagine how far they've come with that. We have AI that's surfacing that could change everything. We could upload ourselves on computers. with that sort of technology, we can very much potentially have people with very high-powered technology, but not very good moral groundings, or not a good foundation to live as a person amongst a bunch of other people, to use that for the common good, or just to use it because they think it's cool, or they're going to weaponize it, or something like that. I mean, because you can imagine, everything gets easier. If a hydrogen bomb was really crazy stuff back in the 60s, they can fucking pump them out now. And there's only a matter of time before just your average person can probably pump it out. I mean, it may not be that. If they can get a hold of
uranium.
Right. If they can get a hold of the right things, hydrogen, then people know how to make that shit. Like, somebody made a nuclear reactor out of, they went around to find, like, what was it, like thermostats?
Mercury.
They grabbed all the mercury out of a bunch of recycled thermostats and made their own nuclear reactor out of it.
Wow.
So shit like that
interesting
is where we're going to fuck up.
Yeah. Man.
And that's where I get scared. So what I think really needs to happen on a sappy point is that there just has to be more education and morals for younger people. Like, it's weird to say, like, we have to give everyone like a basis and a foundation to grow through life and be a decent person. You would love if they could just do it their own way and figure it out, but there's just too much uncertainty there. I think that's where, weirdly enough, religion plays a good point for a lot of people. It gives them that grounding to say, hey, these are good things to do, these are bad things to do, don't be an idiot. If you're just letting a bunch of people just figure that shit out, we're never going to come to understandings, and we'll kill ourselves before we have a chance to think otherwise.
Potentially.
So
I also like to think of all the technology that's been lost to time, and all of the tech that humanity just wasn't ready for, that kind of flew by the wayside.
Like the PSP.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, I'm thinking more along the lines of, this is a classic example. Tesla, he had all sorts of shit that didn't come out, and there's rumors that he had created something pretty much by accident that they called a death ray. Yeah, that was just a really concentrated laser beam, or maybe it was just an electrical beam. I don't really know, but in being as familiar with some of Tesla's ideas that I am, I wouldn't put it past possibility. If not, they've used some of his ideas to create one after he died, or something, serious weapon,
something along the lines.
Yeah,
well, that's crazy, because that's what, like, Albert Einstein predicted, like, that we can make lasers. Like, he had it all figured out mathematically, but it wasn't until like close to 100 years later that we came out with lasers or something crazy. It's like, to me, that's weird that something is mathematically possible, but it can take a long time before the engineering really to catch up with it. That's creepy to me, and
that's cool.
I think it's really cool, man. I think, I don't want to like end on a bad note to say we're all doomed and gonna die.
Well, I've got another funny question.
Okay, cool. Good, because I don't know. Oh, I do have another funny question. Okay, cool. I didn't want to end on that, so go ahead.
All right. This is my most in-depth question. You have sex with an annoying girl.
Yes.
She falls asleep at your house.
Yes.
You wake up early in the morning, and she's making crepes with your newly bought groceries. What's your next move?
I think I would probably look at that person. That's a really hard thing to answer, actually, because immediately, just the way you pose the question, I want to be a dick, but but I don't know if I would actually be it. You know what? I wouldn't have this problem, and I'll tell you why. Because I would have dealt with it the night before, and be like, or before that person even engaged, I'd be like, I really got like shit to do in the morning. Like, I'm gonna be out early, so you're gonna have to go too. So
fair enough.
I would never have this problem.
Maybe you just fall asleep. Maybe you get high and you just like
there's just
pass out.
I'll say there's never been that time, so I would just assume that would never happen for me.
Okay.
To get up and just start rummaging around someone's
question.
For someone just rummaging around my house, just using my things at their will, I would not be happy about it. But I also wouldn't first thing in the morning be like, I need you to get the fuck out of here. Like, just stop what you're doing and get out.
I feel like you would go, just take a real deep breath, don't say a damn word, and then go brew yourself some coffee or something. And
literally is exactly what I thought, but I didn't want to I thought that would be an uninteresting answer. But honestly, that's exactly what I would just ignore it like it wasn't happening, grab myself coffee, and then just sit on my couch drinking coffee, like flicking through my phone or watching TV.
I guess
or
I'm
something.
gonna enjoy these crepes.
Yeah,
like,
you're getting the fuck out after these grapes.
After I eat your ass a
Yeah.
little bit. Boom.
We brought it up again. I thought
had
everyone
to.
forgot already.
Oh, I can't let anybody forget.
Hey, listen,
I'm gonna bring that up in all
it's
the
a
podcasts.
new age. It's
to
not
come.
like it's not like it's something new that I invented here. Okay.
Brennan has a taste
all-
for chocolate starfish.
I don't have a taste for it. I don't have an affinity for it. It just has happened before.
One may argue otherwise.
And you could really just call it a slip. You know, I started at the top and just fell down to the bottom.
And you just went with it, huh?
It was like a blind rage at that point. I was eating something. I don't care what it was. Oh,
Did you come across any corn or anything?
Shit. You know, it could have made a grocery list out of there.
Good Lord.
Oh, that made me sweat. All right. Last question. It's not really funny, but it'll be interesting. What year of school would you go back to if you had to pick one?
Ooh, like probably 8th grade.
Oh yeah, kings of middle schools.
Yeah.
And you were like big as fuck, I'm sure, compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
I can see that. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe 11th grade. 12th grade was fun, but I didn't like. I was just so over school by that point. I just
Actually, yeah, probably 11th grade because we won state in baseball that year.
I'm gonna use
That'd
my
be a
answer
fun
as
thing to
8th grade.
relive.
So I played football. I see a huge spider over there. I saw it went behind your keyboard. Football, soccer, wrestling.
I don't want to just let it like.
It's back there somewhere. You're just gonna have to deal with it. It was just a wee guy.
You said big.
I know.
How
but-
big are we talking? Give me a
like,
measurement.
He was smaller than this.
Oh fuck. What
So-
when you say like the diameter, or was he like?
He was about the diameter of that. That's
Oh.
about how big his body was.
Okay.
You're never gonna find him. So.
All right.
Anywho, so you pick 11th grade?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it wasn't really a funny one, but I was just curious.
All right.
What else we got here? Ooh.
To the last game, we have a Did You Know? This is a very entertaining game.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy this one.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, personally.
Yeah, so for those who haven't seen it before, Did You Know is it's pretty self-explanatory. One of us asks a question, did you know, blah, 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 finish the sentence, and one of them, the other person has to say whether it's true or not.
Right.
So,
You go first.
I think you asked the first question, so I will go first. Did you know that some cats are actually allergic to humans?
I used that one already, and it's true.
Damn it. So, yeah, it's true.
Dumbass. That short-term memory loss.
You know, hey, it's not short term. That's probably like a month ago you said that.
Whatever. Did you know that Mark Zuckerberg is a Jew?
Yes.
He's true.
Yeah, I can see that. I can tell by his facial features as well as he went to Harvard.
My
I don't
initial
know.
question, like I wrote it down without looking it up, and my initial thing was going to be, did you know that Mark Zuckerberg is not a Jew? And then I thought, he's probably a Jew.
Yeah, he's probably a Jew. Yeah, I would just imagine so, right?
And he's totally a Jew, yeah.
Wow, okay.
But actually, a fun fact is one of the first things when I looked up, is Mark Zuckerberg, the very next thing was a robot.
Oh my god.
People think that Mark Zuckerberg is a fucking robot.
I think they think he's like some serious alien. Like you look at him, he's like pasty white. He's kind of creepy looking. He's just wicked smart past everyone else. It's like you can see like he maybe came from somewhere else. I don't trust this guy. I don't trust this guy. He's too far past the rest of us.
All right.
All right. Did you know that in medieval Europe, peasants would use their body hair to make musical instruments out of?
I do not give you credit for making that up. That's true.
No, I made it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am proud of you.
I was gonna say dental floss, but I figured that would be too obvious. So musical instruments sounded good.
Wow.
Nailed your ass.
Yeah, you did. Good job. Proud of you, son.
I probably
Did you
shouldn't
know?
say that anymore.
You're going to start saying ate your ass. Did you know that the first known contraceptive was crocodile poop?
That can't be true.
It's true.
What?
Apparently Egyptians used it.
How?
I don't even know. Maybe they stuck it on their dick. And and it somehow didn't get all melty inside the girl's vagina. Wow. Interesting.
I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Either way, maybe they ate it and it somehow made them sterile. Any way you cut it, any way you slice it, maybe that's like a good way for them to say, you don't want to have babies, but you want to have sex. God's gonna punish you with this.
I can be okay with that. It's like if you really want to have sex, your dick is gonna stink for a couple days for it.
Stink.
Yeah.
You got poop dick.
Same with the vaginal area. That's gonna have quite a
yeast infection. Something serious going on.
It's gonna have its own aroma.
Yeah, green waffle.
All right. Did you know that high heels were originally worn by men?
That's true.
That is true.
I knew that already.
Yeah, that's true. I think about like the Pilgrims and like that kind of shit. They wore those like clogs with like buckles and little heels on them.
I think that like Napoleon Bonaparte wore some serious heels.
Do you think they were walking around going like, "Damn, my ass looks great"?
Because only men could show their ass back then.
Well, there's no efficiency to it. You can't run in them.
People maybe respect them because they're taller.
Ah, true. And you can also hear that person coming from far away.
That's true.
Click, click, click.
Here I come.
Yes, I'm glad that trend moved because I don't see high heels.
I could see your metro ass wearing heels.
You know, if all the other people were doing it, I might as well.
Did you know that Japanese people actually do not have the smallest average dick size?
Chinese people?
Japanese people.
Is it going to be some other Asian culture? It's going to be some other Asian culture. False.
It's false. I just made it up.
Oh, okay. I bet it's somewhere in Asia. Yeah, it's going to be somewhere in Asia.
Probably.
Probably has
I really
the
have
smallest
no idea.
penis. I really think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, Americans like in the middles.
Fucking racist.
And I think, who is it? Damn, I want to say like Germans or something are at the top, or I don't know. Look it up. Biggest dick size.
So you're
or average dick size.
You're gonna somehow not bring in black people in this, like.
Yeah, I don't know.
African Americans got the damn.
Well, I would say African
down
Americans,
there.
But I just count them as Americans.
Yeah, true.
Like I was gonna say Africa, but I don't know if that's technically true either.
I really have no idea. But I do think that it's possible that they were bred. Like I'm pretty sure people bred slaves back in the day. And I think it's possible that they judged a man by the size of his dick, and they sold slaves naked. And so maybe they were like, this guy's got a giant dick.
That hog right there, you'll have babies for forever with that thing.
So let's breed him and make sure that he's like his children breed. And
yeah, can you imagine how many little soldiers could fit in that pipe? All right. Did you know that the moon is slowing down the Earth's rotation?
That's true.
Yeah, it is true.
Mm-hmm. Minutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why we have tidal forces and stuff, or that's why we have tides. Well, it's pulling on it, but it's behind it, so it's slowing it down. Right. Until they become dually tidally locked.
Oh, right.
And then they will spin together indefinitely until the sun blows up.
Not indefinitely.
Right.
They would crash together.
They won't crash together, actually. The moon's going away from the Earth right now. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. Did you know that pagan traditions dictate that men have to have sex with their dogs on the first full moon of their ownership?
You know, I think if 6 months ago, if you would have asked me, I would have said, nah, that's bullshit. But just the way I've been looking into things and how much gross shit is out there, man, it's probably true, man. I don't know.
False.
People love just fucking anything. Yeah. Whatever they can put their dicks into, they'll do it.
Yep.
They'll do it.
People fuck goats.
And to hear that little whine. I'm sorry, this is going too far.
Did I ever tell you this is kind of a racist joke, but it's hilarious, so I'm going to say it. I'm going to try really hard to get the rhetoric right, or to just get the joke right on the timeline. So, did you know that, and it fits perfectly into this, wow. Did you know that the first ever contraceptive was a sheep's intestine
Didn't you
in
just
the Middle
tell me
East?
what in the Middle East.
In the Middle East, people used the first contraceptive from a sheep's intestine, but they first had to remove it from the sheep.
Oh shit!
So they were
the person had to do it.
Yes, the first move that they did was to remove it from the sheep. So they were fucking the sheep.
Why wouldn't they just cut it open and take out its intestine?
Because they were fucking sheep. Farmers get lonely and fuck goats. I probably fucked the joke up, but
interesting. I could see that that's true because they use like lambskin condoms now,
Yeah.
so I could see that very easily.
For people who are allergic to latex.
Yes. Very interesting. Don't fuck animals.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Bestiality is wrong.
Yeah, we talked about this already. All right, here's my last one for you. Did you know that a nickname for Hank Williams Jr. is Bocephus Laquephus?
Who is Hank Williams Jr.?
I hope my dad's not watching. He's gonna kill you.
Oh my God! This is jeez. It's an old country singer that
Yeah,
only
everyone
you know
knows.
of.
Everyone knows Hank Williams Jr.
No, they do not.
Everyone, come on.
No.
Come on.
You're wrong.
Everyone knows Hank.
Not
Williams.
everybody grew up in bumfuck nowhere. Not everybody had sex with their dad.
Hey, you grew up like 20 minutes away from me. There's not that much of a dichotomy going on. It's pretty similar to your childhood. Oh man. Okay,
That's
anyways.
made up completely.
Yeah, so Hank Williams Jr.'s his nickname is Bocephus.
Is it really?
Yeah, it really is. But my brother had a teddy bear named Bocephus after that.
Oh my God. That's
but
amazing.
I just really wanted to say Bocephus Laquephus.
That's a great nickname.
Yes, I thought so too.
Wow.
Thank you.
Proud of you. Once again,
Yes.
surprising me.
Yes.
Did you know that Neanderthals had bigger brains than Homo sapiens? Or modern humans, for that matter.
I would say they maybe had bigger brains, but we have a bigger prefrontal cortex.
Yeah, that's true.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
They just looked humongous
Yeah.
back then.
Big old thick skulls.
You know, I heard something interesting. Is that a lot of the fish that are in the ocean now? I can't remember where I heard this, so whatever, fact check me if you want. But a lot of the fish evolved out of the ocean right onto land, and a lot of those amphibians that were on land, not all of them, went on to live on land. A lot of them actually retreated back to the ocean.
I mean, that's a similar. I don't know if you know the idea of the evolution of mammals, but the reason that there are mammals like whales and dolphins in the ocean is because mammals originally developed on land and they moved back into the ocean.
That's crazy to me. I wonder what kind of thing it was before. Be cool if humans were like, yeah, we're just gonna go live in the water and we're all just bobbing around. Like, hey, maybe in
mermaids.
maybe in like 2 million years we'll have fins again. That would be interesting. Anyways, that was it for me.
Yeah, that was it.
All right.
So thank you guys for joining us for this episode of pure nonsense.
Yeah, if you really want to waste a whole hour or so of your life, that's a good way to do it.
Yep.
Exactly an hour and 3 minutes now.
So you just wasted your entire life.
Is that my whole life, an hour?
No, sorry. But they wasted an entire hour listening to this is what I was getting at.
Maybe if you caught some laughs and it made your day a little bit better, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoyed it.
That was the goal. This is a very uncommon episode. We'll probably have one like this every 20 episodes or so. Just something
to lighten it up, and it's fun to just talk shit about anything.
So the next episode we have will be a serious-ish one.
Yeah, there will still be the funny parts that we try to lighten at the beginning of the episodes and potentially then, but people usually don't make it there, so I don't care that much about that.
So if you have made it to the end of this episode and you have not subscribed to our YouTube, or to whatever you're listening to us on, potentially Spotify or Pandora. I would like to get us on iHeartRadio at some point.
We're on
also
Apple
on
Podcasts, iTunes, all that kind of stuff.
Yep. So give us a subscribe or a like, and maybe leave us a positive review if you enjoyed it. Leave us a negative review if you did not.
Honestly, if you didn't enjoy it and you watched all the way to this part, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Don't come yelling at us.
Yeah,
okay?
Don't give us a bad review after you decided to watch this.
Yeah.
Leave us a thumbs up as your own punishment.
Yeah, you could have clicked off a long time ago.
Oh,
we said what it was at the very beginning. It's pure nonsense.
But thank you guys for joining us. This has been Cause and Defect, the show for serious conversations with not so serious people. You were here with Brennen and Chase once again.
Yep.
Thank you for your time.
Until the next time.